let's talk about the distance formula. The distance formula is going to do this for us. If we have a point here and say a point here, what we want to do is get the distance between these 2 points. I'm going to call that D for distance. Now let's suppose that each one of these points has these coordinates. We'll make this one x1 and this one here y1. We'll do that because, there's an ordered pair here. This will be the first x value. This will be the first y value. So there's an ordered pair here, x1, y1. And likewise, there's going to be an ordered pair over here. Let's call that x value out here x2. And let's call this y value up here, we'll call that one y sub 2. So to get the distance between these 2 points, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a right triangle here. We're going to start at x1, go over to x2, and we're going to go from y1 up to y2. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to get the length of this leg and the length of this leg, right? Because then we would have something like a squared. We'd have something like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or this side squared plus this side squared would be the d squared here. Then we take the square root and we can get d. So we need the length right here. So let's think about this. What if this was 3 and this was 10? How long would this be? Well, if this was 3 and this was 10, you're thinking 7, and the way you would get to 7 would be 10 minus 3. But now we're more general, so instead of 10 and 3, we have x2, x1. So we're going to write this as x2 minus x1. And now let's use the formula for right triangles. We can use this one. We can go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So a in this case might be this one down here, right? That's our a. That's that distance, the length of that leg. So let's write that one as x2 minus x1 squared plus, and then the b squared, that might be that length right there. And that length we can write as y2 minus y1 squared. And this is equal to the hypotenuse squared. Now we're writing the hypotenuse, in general it's this c squared, but our c squared is going to be d for us. We used a d for that, so that's going to be d squared. And we're almost there now. This is d squared. We don't want d squared. We want d itself. So why don't we just take square roots here? Square root, square root. So let's write it. So we're going to have the square root of the quantity x2 minus x1 squared plus the quantity y2 minus y1 squared. And this is all equal to the square root of d squared. And because we know that d is positive, right? It's a length. So d is a positive number. We don't need, when I take the square root of d squared, I don't need to write absolute values. I can just write d. So I'm going to write this like this. I'm going to write the d over here. So here's the distance formula. Distance between 2 points. D is equal to the square root of the quantity x2 minus x1 squared plus the quantity y2 minus y1 squared. We'll square root that, and there we have it.